What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? It is your host, GA2Bs and One Wire. And welcome back to the New Normal Podcast, aka Podcast Made with Love, aka Pod. I think I forgot one. AKA Still Breathing. Come on now. Get it together. Get it together. Get it together. Ay. But welcome back to the podcast. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing good, doing well. I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, baby. But on a serious note, I'm doing good. I'm doing okay. Make sure you guys are following Made with Love podcast on Instagram. And today we're gonna be talking about modern day dating. Yes. And it's really just gonna be my thoughts, my experiences, nothing professional. No research. Well, I don't want to say no research, but not, nothing. Not nothing too technical, put it that way. But without further ado, let's get into this episode. I just want to say, first things first, if you have found love in this modern day and age, my hat goes off to you, because it's really hard, especially now after Corona and things of that nature, because now some people don't want to go out, or most people are on online dating, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, I'm a little iffy about that. I don't know, I guess because, I'm old-fashioned, I just like, to meet in person, then we just hang out, kick it, you know what I'm saying, that type of stuff. But at the same time, I also like, if a guy was to come and ask a girl, hey, how are you doing? I would really like to get to know you type thing. And it's just I kind of like that. And, I would like for it to be hey, get dressed up on, this day. And then for this time, I'm going to come pick you up. And we're going to go out to eat, or hang out, this type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? But it's kind of hard to do that because, first, I want to feel safe with this person, you know what I mean? And it's how do you feel safe based off one interaction with this person? You know what I mean? You only seen this person when they came up to you and said, hey, I would like to get to know you, you know what I'm saying, take you out and this and this and that. It's yeah, I would like that old school type feeling, type vibe, but it's not realistic, and the reason why it's not realistic is because, the world has changed, it's the old, way of doing things, for instance, what I mean, the old way of doing things is some guys may use it to their advantage, you know what I'm saying? So they might say, hey, they might act as if they're interested, but then they really just want to, get the girl within their territory so that, you know, they can do whatever they want to do with the girl, regardless of how she feels. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like that. And that's why I have like a problem with like the old way of doing things, because not every guy is going to be, you know, like a gentleman, you know, a gentleman, and like actually make the girl feel safe, you know what I mean? Or actually make the girl feel like, you know, you don't have to do all that when you're around me, you know what I'm saying? Or you don't have to, not even you don't have to, but you don't, how can I say this? You don't have to worry about this because I'm not here to use you. I'm not here for one thing from you. I'm not here to pressure you into doing something you don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it's kind of hard with that today, because it's like, that's really all some of the guys want to do. You know what I'm saying? That's really, and I'm not saying that sex is a bad thing, but what I'm saying is, if you're pressuring a woman into doing that, or when you get her in your territory and your space, you know what I'm saying, that's all you're talking about, it kind of makes her feel uncomfortable, kind of makes her feel like, all right, I don't feel safe around, you know what I'm saying, this person. Is like, it's kind of hard to have that, like I said, it's kind of hard to have that old school like relationship, or old school like first date or whatever today, because it's like things have changed, and men have changed, women have changed, and I don't know. I don't know if it's me personally or what, but I don't know. Like, how can we change this? I want to know. But anyways, you know, I just, you know, and then on top of that, some guys, they like to, what is it, like sag and stuff like that. And like I said, I was raised by my grandparents, so like, I'm old school, and I don't like that. You know what I mean? I don't want to see your boxers. I don't want to see your drawers. And I don't want you because of your car. I don't want you because of your status. I don't want you because of your popularity. I don't want you for none of that. And it's just like, I feel like that's what my generation focus on. They focus on popularity, money, assets. Not even necessarily, I wouldn't say assets. I would say materialistic things. You know what I'm saying? Like, who got the newest iPhone? Who got the newest Jordans? Who got the newest kicks? You know, who got the most luxury clothing? And I'm not saying or trying to bash anybody who has those things. If you have those things and you're happy with those things, then that's you. But if you're not happy and you're broke and you feel as though everybody else gotta have this around you, all right, we gotta get our mindsets together, because that don't make no sense. You want everybody to have what you have, but really, you don't have nothing left over. Meaning, like, you got a nice car. I'm talking about like a Benz, a Lamborghini, you know, something like that. You know what I'm saying? You out here wearing Louis, Gucci, you know, all these name brands. You got the latest iPhone. You got, you know what I'm saying, all this stuff. But you have nothing. You have nothing to offer personality wise. You have nothing to offer as your character. And I feel like that's what we feel. Like, in our generation, like, we so used to looking at the internet, and even if you didn't grow up, because some of us didn't grow up with the internet. We just slowly developed or eased our way into the internet. I would say, because like for me, I didn't ease into the internet until I was about, let's say, 13, 14. So yeah, so about my younger years, you know what I'm saying, we outside, we riding bikes, we, you know what I'm saying, we flying kites, you know what I'm saying, we just making up games that we didn't even know exist, you know what I mean? And but that's just a side note. Yeah, but like we just look at the internet and like, oh, we gotta be this person, so we try to mock this person in this person's relationship, but we don't even know what's going on behind the camera. You know what I mean? And I just feel like everything is so fake, and it's not, and people don't know how to be genuine and actually love somebody. You know what I'm saying? Actually like somebody, actually communicate with somebody, actually value and respect people's boundaries, you know what I'm saying, and people's bodies, you know what I'm saying? We're just out here trying to do, quote unquote, whatever we think is right. And it's just like, if you sit down with yourself, you'll pretty much figure out what's right for you. And if everybody else do that, you'll pretty much figure out what's right for them too. So I'm just like, is dating really hard, or are we just making it complicated? I'm really confused. Y'all let me know. Which one? I don't know. I feel like it's a little mix of both. But then again, at the same time, I feel like we just make it complicated. You know? Because we as human beings don't know how to love ourselves. So how do you love somebody else? If you don't respect your own boundaries, how can you respect somebody else's boundaries? If you don't like yourself, how can you like someone else? If you don't know how to communicate to yourself and with your body and with your mind, how can you communicate with somebody else? If you're not disciplined with yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, how can you be or help somebody else be disciplined in a relationship? So I'm just like, And then now we got all these, alpha males, alpha females, red pill talk, red table talk, I don't know. All this red stuff. And I really don't know. I really don't know. Like, what does alpha male even mean? I really don't know. Y'all let me know, because I really don't know what that means. And if you like, are you living under a rock? I am. Most definitely, I am. I really don't know what this modern day language means. Alright? But what I can say is none of this alpha stuff really matters if the character is not already in that person. None of this red pill stuff matters if that person doesn't have character for himself or herself. None of your status, style, materials matter to another person if they don't matter to you. And that's just how I feel on that. Another thing that's been the topic for a very long time is, what do you bring to the table? And I laugh because it's just like, how can a simple question be blown up so big? You know what I'm saying? Because me personally, I don't have a problem with the question. It's just that, why do you feel the need to ask me that question? And what are you hiding when you're asking me this question? You know what I'm saying? Because if you ask me the question, then I don't have a problem with answering. But if I throw the question back to you and you have a hard time answering the question, or if you say, well, you already know, you know what I'm saying? You know what I bring to the table. Or if you're struggling to go into detail, then for me personally, I just feel like it's something deeper. You know what I'm saying? Rather if it's somebody who hurt you before I came into the picture, if it's, just the internet, you know, being a influence to you, rather if it's, if it's like you trying to build yourself, so you just simply want to know, like, hey, I'm doing X, Y, and Z right now. How can you add to that? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I just feel like, for me, why is this question so big to the point that, why is it so big to the point that this is the very first question that you ask? You know? What do you bring? You know what I'm saying? Hi, how are you? Alright. What's your name? My name is Gabby. Alright. What's your name? My name is... We'll go with John, you know? So what do you bring to the table? It's like, alright. Well, since we're just gonna hop into it, I guess what I bring to the table is me. First thing first. Nah, but on a serious note, like, what do I bring to the table? Me, my uterus, my cooking, my cleaning, I work. What else would you like to know? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, I just feel like if you just sat down and got to know a person, then what they bring to the table will be shown. But that's just me on that question. But at the same time, it's just, I feel like people are scared to get to know people because they're scared of wasting their time. Or they're scared of, putting their all into a person, and then that person turns out to be a shitty person. And I feel like that's kind of where that question stems from. And I'm not saying it's a bad question. I'm just saying, it wasn't necessarily a big thing or big idea, but it's just, I feel like now, as people are being more open about relationships and where they're going, where they're heading, and what they want their relationships to be like, I feel like that's where the number one question when people get to know people. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, what is your source? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is your backstory as to why this is your very first question straight out the gate? You know what I mean? And I just feel like, everybody, whoever you're trying to be with, at the end of the day, whether they ask this question or not, if that person is bringing some type of peace, joy, excitement, value to your life, then, I feel like, you should give that person a chance. But if they're not, then, we cool, we friends, you know what I'm saying? And this is for men and women. I'm not just saying for women, I'm not just saying for men. This is for both, both of you should be the prize to one another. That's how I think of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, man, I done hit the jackpot. You know what I'm saying? I done won this prize. And I just feel like men can be a prize to a woman, just like the woman can be a prize to the man. I feel like y'all both should be, you know what I'm saying, each, you know what I'm saying, like, I don't know how to explain it. I just feel like, you know what I'm saying, like, whenever I get older, you know, and I look at my husband, I want to be able to say, like, oh yeah, this me right here, you feel me? I want to be able to be like, yeah, I won the prize too. And I want him to be able to say he won the prize too. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way I think. Now, how you think is how you think, but that's just what I think. You know what I'm saying? And another thing with relationships is the foundation. If you get into a relationship and the foundation is transactional, then that's all it'll ever be. If you get into a relationship and it's based off materials, then that's all it'll ever be. You know what I'm saying? But if you get into it and it's about the love, respect, the value, the morals, you know, the communication, I feel like it'll be, you know, long lasting, longevity, you know. But, and I feel like that's another thing, like, with our generation, we get into, not all of us, but some of us, we get into the relationships and they're just transactional, you know what I'm saying, business partners rather than lover, you know what I'm saying, rather than, you know, being a person's best friend, being a person's, you know, nurturer, being this person, you know, girl, being a person's boy, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like I do this for you, so this is what you gotta do for me. And I don't really like those. I don't like them. I just feel like, you know, we both pouring in 100% on each part. Then, you know, I feel like then I feel like it won't be so transactional, or it won't be so materialistic, because, you know, like, once you get to know a person and y'all both pouring in that 100%, if one of you guys are slipping, I don't even want to use the word slipping, but if you notice, like, hey, like, if you got to take on that 90% and that person put in, you know what I'm saying, so I'm putting it in 10, or if you got to be 80 and they be 20, you know what I'm saying, you be 70 and they be 30, you know what I'm saying, vice versa. I feel like if you started off at 100%, then y'all can just go back and forth with the percentage how y'all want it to. But like I said, that's just how I think. That's my memo. Everybody else got their own memos and how they think and how they work and what works for them, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. So I'm just like, I mean, you know, do you feel me? But that's really all I got, you know what I'm saying, is, you know, I just wish things were like they used to be. But, you know, you gotta live in the present, you know, gotta live in reality. You know, everything's not gonna be how you see it on TV. Everything's not gonna be how you see it with your grandparents or with your great uncles and aunts and, you know, anybody else who had a long relationship before you, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. So if you want to drop how you feel about modern day dating, then let me know down in them comments, you feel me? So without further ado, I am your host, Gabby, G-A-2-B's and 1Y, and this is the New Normal Podcast, aka Still Breathing, aka the podcast made with love. Yes. And without further ado, make sure you guys are following Made with Love Podcast. And I love you. Be good. Be safe. Bye.